Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha, Alvarim Varmanachir Trivedileshanam. So today, Dian is going to or has been given the grand pleasure of talking about Tirumangai Azwar. Um, Actually, sitting in a relative's house in Madurai, came to came for the Brahmotsavam of Alagar. So I'm just here today and tomorrow for the Hanumanta Vaganam and Garuda Vaganam tomorrow evening. Tomorrow I'll be driving back to Srirangam after Garuda Vaganam. So may not have great network here. There is no Wi-Fi. Using a hotspot from my phone. I don't know how stable this will be. Hope all of you can hear me well. Yes. Okay. So, just to say about Tirumangai Azwar, who has blessed us with so many temples. Went on a temple visit spree to all corners of Bharatadesham, not sparing any location at all. Just got on his back of his Adalma Kudirai, his horse, which obeys Arvar's commands, speeds like the wind, takes wherever Arvar wanted to go. That too, Arvar started late in life. One quality that Adiyan shares with Arvar is that we started late in life in respect to Sampradayam. And after that, Alvar went very deep, and his ability to become an Alvar, despite having, possessing a lot of, what to say, sort of negative qualities in life, such as great pride and so much of ego in personality and so many other things that Tirumangai Azwar conquered not only external enemies but even his internal demons, and rose so much in life to become to earn the title of Alvar. Also, many familiar with Tamil is called as the Kadakutti. Kadakutti is an endearing term that people use to refer to the youngest in the family. He is the youngest Alvar, the last one to come by. So he's very fond to many Sri Vaishnavas as the Kadakutti of Alvar's last one. Till Tirumangai Azwar, maybe Adiyan is not sure of the exact number. Maybe we had somewhere around 40 or 50 Divya Desams. Alvar just got on his horse and gave one word pasurams to many temples and included so many temples in the fold, and has done us such a gracious act of giving us so many temples to visit. Alvar, to look at as a small biography, Alvar was born in the month of Kartigai, under the star of Kartigai as well. Kartigayil Kartigai is what referred to as Alvar's birth identity. Was born in a place called Tirukurayalur, which is near Sirgari, where we have the 12 to 13 Divya Desams around that area, where today famously we have the Tiruvali Tirunagari Kshetrams. So nearby there is where Tirukurayalur is. Alvar was born in Tirukurayalur. So what Alvar has done is his works include Periya Tirumuri, Tirukurundandagam, Tiruvilukkuttirikai, Siriya Tirumadal, Periya Tirumadal, Tirunedantandagam. Alvar's writing and poetry is very deeply appreciated. One of the prime examples of how much of a literary genius Alvar is something that you can witness by the writing of Tiruvazhukottirikkai. If any of you visit Sarangapani Divyadesam in Kumbakonam, where on the wall of when you enter the temple, on the wall you would be able to see how Alvar composed Tiruvazhukottirikkai. It is exactly in the shape of the divine chariot or the thair of the temple, Sarangapani temple in Kumbakonam, where it starts off with one block, two, four, six, and then it keeps expanding the width of the thair, and then it keeps tapering down again, comes down to one. This is the exact structure of Tirukkutrikkai as well. If you write Tiruvazhukottirikkai, you will write it like one word, two words, four words, six words. And if you look at it after you have written, it will resemble a chariot. It will resemble the Kumbakonam Thair, Tirukudandai Thair. So that's how much intelligent he was as a literary from a literary perspective. Of course, we are not here to analyze Alvar's poetic skills or literary skills. How he has beautifully used his words to describe several Divyadesam Thirumans is what attracts us. Alvar attained Paramapadam at Tirukurungudi, where we have Vaishnava Kshetram near Tirunelveli. Arian has had the joy of visiting that place as well, which is a very scenic, very beautiful spot where Alvar decided to ascend to Paramapadam, where surrounded by hills and paddy fields. It's always very windy and breezy, very calming place, wonderful place, and must visit for everyone. So Alvar was born as Neelan. That was his given name. Was a very skilled warrior, physically very strong. And he earned a position as a commander in the army of one of the Chola kings. And due to his prowess in wars and due to the display of all his skills, he was granted a small region to rule by the Chola king. And he did that rule. He mastered it. He did the rule very well. And obviously, his focus was very much on the materialistic aspirations. He wanted to make his king proud. He wanted to impress his king. He wanted to expand his territory, and was not at all in any way connected to any of the spiritual matters at that point in time. Until one fine day when Alvar happened to meet a divine lady who we owe a lot to, called Kumudavalli Nachiyar. And Kumudavalli Nachiyar was very beautiful, very pretty, and Alvar immediately wanted to marry her as soon as he saw. And he went and asked for her hand. Kumudavalli Nachiyar happened to be a very devout Sri Vaishnava lady, and it is said that she is of divine origin, not someone who was born out of the womb and raised. And she said yes to Tirumangai Azwar and laid down two conditions. Azwar was so smitten by her that he was ready to understand or agree to any conditions that she laid down. She said he must receive Panchasamskaram and become a Sri Vaishnava. Alvar nodded and said yes. And she also said he must perform Dadyaradanam, that is, he must feed 1,008 Sri Vaishnavas every single day for 1 full year. And Alvar said yes to this as well. And he immediately started making preparations for feeding 1,008 Sri Vaishnavas every day. He was going about these duties with the wealth that he had accumulated. Eventually, he ran out of it because feeding 1,008 people every single day is not a joke. And he started running out of funds, and he was unable to pay the tax that he is due to the king who had given him the region to rule. Making the king angry, he was arrested due to non-payment of taxes. And beyond this, Alvar had started praying, and Kanchi Deva Perumal appeared to him in a dream and guided him to a treasure. So, upon acquiring that treasure, Tirumangai Azwar, that is Neelan at that point in time, was able to pay the taxes. And again, he started the other Adhana for the 1,008 Sri Vaishnavas. Once again, he was exhausted of all his wealth. But he was very determined that he must not break this particular arduous task of feeding the Sri Vaishnavas. So he started resorting to highway robbery. So he had a group of people with him, and he started riding in highways, pouncing on people who were coming along the way, and he started robbing from them in order to fund the feeding of the Sri Vaishnavas. Uh, the Lord and Shivanarayana and Mahalakshmi Tayar were witnessing all this, and they decided that it was time. So they had sent Neelan for a purpose. It was their divine will to send him for a purpose, and Perumal decided it was time for Alvar to recognize the purpose of his birth, and Perumal and Tayar came in the guise of a married couple. So they came down in the form of a newly married couple who were returning after their wedding with large amounts of wealth. And so they were walking along. So they were laying out a bait for Alvar to stop and rob them. So as Neelan and his gang robbed the Perumal and Tayar, and Neelan was very determined to take every single penny that was there on offer. And when he tried to remove the toe ring from the bridegroom's toe, he could not do so. What he did is he bowed down and lifted the feet and applied pressure with his teeth. He tried to bite the toe ring off, but he was largely unsuccessful and he could not remove that particular toe ring at all. And the bridegroom, who was very impressed with someone who is able to target such a huge procession and rob them in such a bold and valorous manner, and he said, "Nam Kaliyano, is it our Kaliyan?" And Tirumangai Azwar did not understand what he was saying. So he just said, "I will ignore the touring. You can just keep it. I'm giving it to you. I'll leave that." And he tried lifting the bags of wealth that he had already stolen. He was surprised by how he could not move or lift any of the bags. Nothing he could move. And he immediately accused the bride and the groom, saying that you are some sort of witch or magician. That is why I'm not able to move this. So whatever spell you have casted, remove it. So Kaliyan got angry. The Lord agreed, said, yes, I did cast a spell on it. Come to me, I'll tell you a mantram. And once I tell you that mantram, maybe you'll be able to move it or lift any of this and go. So at that point in time, the Lord gave him the Ashtakshara mantram. And upon hearing it, that's all was needed for Kaliyan. And he immediately transformed, immediately understood what his purpose is. And at that point in time, he immediately began singing the praise of the Ashtakshara mantra, which is a very, very famous pasuram that all of us mostly are familiar with. Narayana Innum Namam, the first Dasakam of Periya Tirumazhi. And he describes the glories of the Narayana mantra in the Dasakam. And he immediately was blessed with divine knowledge, and his ignorance was dispelled at that point in time immediately. And the chieftain, the Chola chieftain, Neelan, at this point in time, immediately became Tirumangai Azwar. So, and he immediately started visiting all the Archavatara temples. He wanted to, uh, you know, enjoy the Archavatara Tirumeni of all Perumals across the Bharatadesha. And he went up on the back of his Adalma Kudirai, and he went everywhere he could possibly go to, and started composing Mangala Sasanams for all the Nirmans that he visited. And it is said that he earned a title called Nalukavi Perumal, where it is said that there are four distinct forms of Tamil poetry, which are called as Asu, Maduram, Chittiram, Istharam, which means Asu, it means spontaneous, where one poet has spontaneity to immediately start composing poems. Maduram, they should be very sweet to listen to and read. Chittiram, they should be very artistic, that is, they should describe the scene very well. And Vistaram, at the same time, they are also very expansive and explains a particular scene in detail. So, since he mastered all the four forms of poetry, he was called as Nalukavi Perumal. And once Alvar was finished with his Divyadesa Mangalasasanam trip, Alvar took up a very arduous duty or great task of fortifying Srirangam, where he started building the Madil, that is the compound wall that surrounds Srirangam even today. So he began building all the four walls around the Srirangam Vividesam. And Alvar did one particular activity while he wanted to fund this particular compound wall. There was a huge golden Buddha statue that was there in present day Nagapatnam. And the thing is that that particular Buddha statue is something that was very precious, pure gold. And it was not possible for anyone to access it because the architecture was very cleverly planned in a way that it required some sort of clever navigation to reach that particular statue. Alvar, by using his intellect, learned the architectural secret, learned the name of the architect first, approached the architect, and falsely fed him information that the statue was stolen. And the architect was shocked to learn how that the statue was stolen and blurted out the secret, saying, "How is it possible? You have to do this in order to gain access." How did they gain access? And Alvar learned how to access it. And then he went forth, lifted the statue, and used the funds from the gold and paid for the construction of the walls. And another minor instance of where we hear through these stories of one Alvar acknowledging the presence of another Alvar, Tirumangai Azwar acknowledges the existence of Tondaradipudi Alvar by protecting Tondaradipudi Alvar's Nandavanam inside the Srirangam temple. So after this particular activity was completed, Alvar travels to Sirgai, and there he comes face to face with one of the greater Shaivite poets called Tiranyana Sambandar. And in Sirkari, for Trivikrama Perumal, out of a challenge with Tiranyana Sambandar, Alvar composes the pasuram for Trivikrama Perumal in Srirgari, Tadalan Perumal. And he wins that particular debate where Tirumangai Azwar Triniyana Sambandar concedes defeat. And it is said that this is how Tirumangai Azwar won the veil that he wields in his hand, where we saw all the Archavadara Tirumenis of Tirumangai Azwar we see with the veil in his hand, which was something that he won in this debate and given to him by Tiruniyana Sambandar. It's also said that the Tirumangai Azwar actually drowned all the architects of the Srirangam temple. After the construction of the Srirangam temple, he drowned all the architects. May seem something like an outwardly tyrannical or very cruel thing to do. But once when all their grandchildren came and asked Azwar, how could you do this? We want our fathers and grandfathers back. Ranganatha Swamy himself miraculously showed all of them about how all the people who helped build the Srirangam temple were all had all attained Vaikuntha. So his life, Tirumangai Azwar's life, shows us how Perumal's causeless mercy can uplift any soul, regardless of what you've been in your past. And Tirumangai Azwar is very, very deeply revered by all our Purvacharyas, especially Swami Ramanuja, who was very devoted towards Tirumangai Azwar. So the Tirumangai Azwar actually, the name Kaliyan was used to describe him, to say how he is destroyer of Kali. So wherever you see the bad effects of Kali going around, Azwar is someone who is capable of destroying these bad effects. That is why he is known as Kaliyan. So towards that name is where his one of his Taniyans was born out of. Kalayami Kalidwamsam Kavim Loka Divakaram Yasya Gopi Prakashabir Avityam Nihatam Tamaha. So this is Adiyan's humble attempt at portraying the life of Tirumangai Azwar, which is even more vast. But to take a look at all his works, which many of us who are on the journey of learning Divya Prabhandams, we would know Tirumangai Azwar is probably the most difficult to memorize or even to see the book and read also. Periya Tirumozhi, Tirunedandandagam, there are a lot of very literary words that are very rich, probably very difficult to pronounce. And if one is not of Tamil origin, it becomes even more difficult to learn and memorize Azwar's works. But it just shows how much he was involved and how much of a literary genius that Azwar was. One of the very inspirational Azwars who started his life without any sort of inclination towards Bhagavan or inclination towards Sampradayam of any sort, who was a man who deeply immersed himself in ego and material things, who completely transformed his life without a shred of ego or without any sort of praises about himself, completely transformed himself, Bhagavad Anubhavam, completely immersed himself in it, and gave us so many Divya Desams today. So it was very great pleasure to talk about Tirumangai Azwar. Tirumangai Azwar Tiruvadile Sharanam.
Adiyan was very beautifully presented. One small thing which I wanted to add was Tirumangai Azwar was instrumental in starting this Adhyayana Utsavam in Srirangam temple, which is being followed in almost most of the Divya Desams. So that's also one of his greatest contributions, which we enjoy the fruits today.
Yes.
Adiyan.
I think Rangarajan Swami, if anybody has any other questions, or we can move to Sri Rangarajan Swami to talk about Puchuttal.
I think I will start. Alvarembarman, Arjiyar Tirulation, Vaspadacharin Tirulation, Smagurbyonama, Perialvar Tirulation. So yesterday we saw Nirattal, where we said this is the pasuram that you should sing when you're doing Tirumanjalam for Perumal. So we finished the Tirumanjalam yesterday. Finally, because his girlfriend was visiting, Kannan took a bath. So today we are going to see how Pediyalvar in Yashoda Bhavam decorates Kannan after taking a bath. So this pasuram is a very good resemblance to Pediyalvar's day-to-day duty. He was doing Pushpa Kainkariam for Perumal in Srivilliputtur. So he similarly he sings these 10 pashrams where he talks about Pushpa Kainkariam, where he specifically specifies 8 different pushpams in each of the pashrams. It is said in Shastras that while praying to Perumal, we have to put 8 gunas in front of him, because of which he blesses us with moksham. Similarly, or in parallel, Periyalvar talks about these 8 flowers, which are 8 samarpanams that we give to Perumal, making him happy and giving us moksha. So let's start with the pashrams. Anirai mekka நீ போதி அருமருந்தாவதற்யாய் காணகமெல்லாம் திரிந்து உன் கரிய திருமேனி வாழ பானையில் பாலை பருகி பத்தாதார் எல்லாம் சிரிப்ப தேனில் எரிய விழானே செண்பகப்பூ சூட்டவாராய். So here he starts with the champak flower, the Shenbagappu. I've tried to translate most of the flowers into into the English words. We may not even know most of them, but let's try to compare them. So here, Nirai mekka neevodi arumarundavadhariyai. Oh, Perumal, who's so much sweeter than honey. He describes Perumal as sweeter than honey, and he says his enemies laugh at him. Like Shishupalan keeps making fun of him, keeps scolding him. He says he was a thief. He says he was that. Even the friends laugh at him, laugh at Perumal. That is mostly out of bhakti, but all this is because he steals milk. He directly steals raw milk instead of before waiting for it to become to boil it or to become curd or anything. He steals away the raw milk. He keeps roaming around the forests. He keeps roaming around everywhere. Because of which his beautiful skin is getting spoiled. So all this naughtiness he keeps doing along with his friends. But Omale, who is a healer of everything, I will decorate you with these beautiful flowers. I offer you these Shenbaga flowers. Please come and let me decorate you, is what Periyalvar says in this pasuram. Next pasuram. கருடை மேகங்கள் கண்டால் உன்னை கண்டால் ஒட்கும் கண்கள் உருவடையாய் உலகேலும் உண்டாக வந்து பிறந்தாய் திருவுடையாயில் மணவாள திருவரங்கத்தே கிடந்தாய் மறுமணம் கமிழ்கின்ன மல்லிகை பூச்சூட்டவாராய். So here he talks about Tiruvengadathan. So he talks about Perumal residing in Tiruvengadam. That is Tiruvarangam. Residing in Srirangam. So he describes Perumal, the Krishnan, the person with the skin better than the dark clouds. We saw the same analogy yesterday as well. So Krishna's skin is so dark and so beautiful that it is much more better than the rain clouds that we see. And we would rather prefer seeing Krishna than those rainy clouds, is what Periyalvar says here. He also says Urudayai Udahelum Undaga Vandu Pirandai. He who is born as the creator of the seven worlds, because without him there is no world. So Krishna is born as a creator of all the seven worlds. He is also called Tiruvudayai Manavala, that is Lakshmi's Atipati or Shri's Shri. So for us, Shri is everything, and for Shri, Perumal is everything. That is what he says in this line. Tiruvarangatte Kidandai, the one who resides in Srirangam, I will offer you this ever fragrant, ever fresh Mallige Plu, the jasmine flowers, which are most liked by Perumal, the most fragrant flowers, are ready with me. So please come, I will decorate you with these flowers, is what Alvar says in this Pashuram. Next Pashuram, Machodu Maligai Yeri, மதர்கள் தம்மிடம் புக்கு கச்சொடு பட்டை கிழித்து காம்பு துகிலவை கீறி நிச்சுளம் தீமைகள் செய்வாய் நீள் திருவேங்கடத்தெந்தாய் பச்சை தமனகத்தோடு பாதிரி பூச்சூட்டவாராய். So here he talks about the naughtiness or the mischief of Perumal, and this Pashuram he addresses Tiruvengadattan, Thirumalai Emperuman, he addresses Tiruvengadattan here. So here he says, wherever there are girls, Krishna silently enters that place, steals all their clothes, starts tearing them up, throws them here and there, and creates a lot of mischief among all of them. So he stands. What Perumal does is he just goes and their silk saris and their abhayavastra, their angavastram and all that, he just tears and then he throws them away. So he says, you are so mischievous, so please don't do all those mischievous. Come here, I will prepare a garland with the marikolundu or marijoram, that is the green fragrant leaves that are there, and padiripu, trumpet flower. I have prepared a garland with this, and I will decorate you with these flowers or with this fragrant garland, is what Alvar says in this Pashuram. Next Pashuram, தெருவின்கண் நின்று இளவாச்சிமார்களை தீமை செய்யாதே மருவும் தமனகமும் சேர மாலை மனம் கமிழுகின்ற புருவம் குறுங்குகள் நெற்றி பொலிந்து முகில் கன்று போய் உருவம் அழகிய நம்பி உழ்கந்திவை சூட்டனி வாராய். So here Alvar describes the beauty of Perumal's netti or the forehead. It is such a beautiful forehead in between the eyebrows and the hair, a wonderful forehead. And to decorate this forehead, I have combined this tamanagam, or it is called Tumbai flower, is what I found out. So I combined the marikolundu and Tumbai flowers and prepared a wonderful garland for this beautiful forehead of yours. Stop making fun of people on the road. Please come and get yourself decorated with this flower. So Uruvam Alagi Nambi. So you have such a beautiful body, and these flowers make it much more beautiful. So please come and adorn this garland, is what Alvar says in this Pashuram. Pullinvai Pilandai Porukadiyare Kombasittai Kalla Arakkiyai Mookodu Kavalanai Thalaikondai Allini Vennai Vizhunga Anjada Adiyen Adithen Tellai Neeril எழுந்த செங்கழற்பூர் சூட்டவாராய். செங்கழநீர் சூட்டவாராய். So here Alvar talks about Yashoda beating Krishna. So she is actually scared because she hit such a let's say a delicate person. Perumal has a very delicate skin or a very delicate body, and Yashoda is scared that he hit him. Why he hit him? he ate all the butter that was available. So Yashoda hit him. So what Alvar talks about Charitram here, he says, Pullinvai, Pullinvai Pilladettai. That is Bakasuran. He tore the mouth of Bakasuran and threw it on both the sides. Porukkaline Kombasittai. So the Kuvalaya Pidam elephant that came to attack him, he caught the tusks and broke the tusks of the elephant. Then Kalla Arakkiye Mookodu, when in Ramavataram, when Shurpanekha came to possess him, he got her nose cut. Then Kavalanai Talekondai. The protector of Shurpanakha is Ravanan. When Ravanan attacked Taya, he completely chopped off his head. You did such great things, but you came and you stole all the butter and you ate everything. And I beat you for that, but I'm scared now because you're so powerful. But that's okay. I have red water lily flowers, which are from clear water. They are very fresh. They are very fragrant. So please come and take these flowers and bless me, is what Alvar sings here. The next pasuram. எருதுகளோடு பொருதி ஏடுமுலோ பாய்க்கான் நம்பி கருதிய தீமைகள் செய்து கஞ்சனை கால் கொடு பாய்ந்தாய் தெருவின்கண் தீமைகள் செய்தாய் சிக்கன மல்லர்களோடு பொருது வருகின்ற பொன்னே பொன்னை பூச்சுட்டவாராய். So here Alvar offers laurel flowers to Perumal. So he starts with எருதுகளோடு பொருதி ஏடுமுலோ பாய்க்கால் நம்பி. So there is a story where Kumbakonar, that is Napinnai's father, had a event where Krishna had to fight 7 bulls to win the hands of Napinnai Prati. So he talks about this. Then he talks about Karudiya தீமைகள் செய்து கஞ்சனை கால் கொண்டு பாய்ந்து. So he talks about killing Kamsan. Kamsan did a lot of violence or gave a lot of trouble for Krishna. So what Krishna does is he just kicks him and kills him in a single kick. Then he talks about தெருவின் கண் தீமைகள் செய்து சிக்கன்ன மல்லர்களோடு. When Krishna was going into the Mathura palace, so he fights Kuvalaya Pidam, then he gets Alankaram done, then he meets this person for the clothes. So that person says he won't give clothes because these clothes belong to King Kamsa. So he hits that guy. So on the street, he makes lot of mischief. Finally fights the wrestlers in the Malla Yuddham. And then finally kills Kamsa. So Krishna, the person who's as much as likable as gold, is what Alvar says here. Porudu varugindra ponne. So as compared to gold, I have the laurel flowers ready for you. Please come and get yourself decorated by these flowers. Now in the next pasaram, Kudangal eduthera vittu கூத்தாட வல்லையன் கோவே மடங்கோள் மதிமுகத்தாரை மால் செய்ய வல்ல என் மைந்தா இதந்திருத்த இரணியன் நெஞ்சை இருப்பிளவாய் முன்கீண்டாய் குடந்தை கிடந்தயம் கோவே குறுக்கத்தி பூச்சுட்டவாராய். Here here indirectly Alvar talks about Tirukkurugai ஆறாவமுதப் பெருமாள். Here they talk about this கூத்தாட வல்லையன் கோவே, the leader of the celebrators. So குடங்கள் எடுத்தேற விட்டு. So how these people celebrate? They celebrate with pots on their head, and they keep jumping and dancing, and then they break the pots. So this is what is the enjoyment that these Yadavas do. and he is the head of these Yadavas who does it even more. Madamgol Madimugattare. So here what Alvar says is, there are such beautiful ladies who have such beautiful faces, and you mesmerize all of them. You are so beautiful that you can mesmerize anybody. And what you do on the other side, with your own hands, you tear Hiranyan in Narasimhavataram into two parts, but on the other side, you are so lovely, you are such a leader. So please come. I have the heritage flowers ready for you, and will decorate you with those flowers. In the next pasuram, Seemali Ganavanodu, தோழமை கொள்ளவல்லாய் சாமாறு அவனி எண்ணி சக்கரத்தால் தலை கொண்டாய் ஆமாறும் பிரானே அணி அரங்கத்தே கிடந்தாய் ஏமாற்றம் என்னை தவிந்தாய் இருவாச்சி பூச்சுட்டவாராய். So Seemali is one of the friends of Krishna. This person is a, let's say, jealous person, or he had some ill thoughts in him. He always wanted to copy Krishna. He copied Krishna in everything, and he felt that he is more powerful, or he is much more better than Krishna. But he was always good friends with Krishna. So Krishna decided that he has to get rid of this person because he's creating a negative environment. But he couldn't kill him because he was his friend, because he was very friendly with Krishna. So Krishna had no direct reason as a person to kill him. So what he did, so this is a special story that Periyalvar is the only person who gives us this story. So Perumal probably gave him this insight into this charitram of Krishna Avataram. So what he does is, Perumal, he says, Seema Aligan says, I also want to have the Vishnu Chakram. So Krishna says, okay, very fine. I will teach you how you can use the Vishnu Chakram. Then I'll give it to you. So he teaches him how to hold the Vishnu Chakram and how to let it go from the hand. So by the time he teaches how to hold it back when it comes back, because Seemali is a crooked person. He does not listen to that because he knows how to hold and how to wheel and how to let the chakram go. He immediately lets the chakram go. So the chakram comes back, and he did not learn how to hold it. So instead of coming and sitting on his finger, the chakram kills him directly. So this is how he got Seemali killed. So Alvar praises him that you found a plan to kill your friend without you yourself doing it. So this is one of the stories that Alvar talks about here, and he says, "O Perumale, who resides in Srirangam, or who is resting in Srirangam, you ensured that all of our sins are all eradicated. So please come here. I have star jasmine flowers ready for you, Iruvachipu, and I have the garland prepared with this, and I will offer you these flowers." So now in the 9th pasuram, அண்டத்து அமரர்கள் சூர அத்தானியுள் அங்கிருந்தே தொண்டர்கள் நெஞ்சில் உறவாய் திருமலராள் மணவாள உண்டத்து உலகனை ஏழும் ஒரு ஆலிலையில் துயில் கொண்டாய் கண்டு நான் உன்னை உகக்க கருமிகப்பூச்சுட்டவாராய். So here he talks about Perumal sitting in Paramabadam, where he is close to all the Nitya Suris and all the other Devas and Devatas. So he says, you are sitting so close to all of them, and you are also present in the heart of all your devotees. And he says, you are very dear to Tirumahal, who sits on a lotus flower. And what you do you are so close to everybody, you are so dear to everybody, and then suddenly one day you just swallow the entire world during pralayam, and you just come and reside on the banyan leaf, on the leaf of a banyan tree. So you are so close to everybody, but then you create a pralayam, you swallow everything, and you sleep on the alilai or the banyan tree. I want to decorate you with these flowers, Karamiga. I found that these flowers are called yang flowers. I don't know, these some Chinese name or something. They are star-shaped fragrant flowers. So I have garland prepared with these flowers. So please come and I will decorate you with these flowers, is what Alvar says in this Pashuram. Finally, in the last Pashuram, Shenbagamalligayode, Chengaranir Iruvachi, Inbahar Puvum Kunainden, Indravai Suttava Vinne, Manbahar Kondhane, Achi Mahilde Urai Seda Vimalai, Panbahar Villi Butturkon, Patrabiran Chonavate. So here Alvar summarizes everything. Shenbaga Malligayode, Chengarni Riruvachi. All these flowers I have prepared for you, multiple garlands with these 8 flowers. Indrive Chuttava Vende, Manbagar Kondane, Archi Mahinde, Urai Seda Immalai. Panbahar Villi Butturkon, Patraviran. So I have prepared so many beautiful garlands with these 8 flowers, and I'm offering this to you as in Yashoda Babam, is what Patrabidan says in this 10th Pashuram, summarizing the entire Pashuram. Again, Advaram Maharaj here, please correct for any mistakes.
Okay, Swamy. Any questions from anybody? Okay. Anantha and Swamy, I think Devrev is up next.
I wanted to also thank Sri Rangarajan Swamy for that wonderful presentation with all the flower names and all that translated. Also nice to hear Neerattal and Puchuttal. I will begin with Mumukshupadi.
The Swami explained about that washerman thing, Lord Krishna, how he killed him. There is another vaibhavam which is related to that. That was quite later. Once Embirmanar, whatever, took the washerman who used to wash the clothes of Amperumal and Periyaperumal and took that washerman to them and informed them that this washerman diligently washes the clothes daily. So Amperumal was so happy and said, "You tell me, what do you want? I can bless you with whatever you want." That washerman said, "One of my forefathers had done an abacharam with you by not giving you the cloth which Devarit wanted. Please pardon him." That was what the washerman requested Periyaperumal. This is also available in one of the Vyakyanams in one of the pasurams. I didn't thought I should share that with you in the group.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you for sharing that. Alvar Embirmanar Jiyar Tiruvadigaleswaram, Acharya Tiruvadigaleswaram, Sri Shailesha Dayapatram, Deepakyadi Gunanam, Yatindra Pravanam Nande Ramyaja Mataram Munim, Lokacharya Gurave, Krishna Padasya Sunave, Samsara Bhogi Sandashta, Jiva Jivatave Namaha. Today we will continue our discussion on Mumukshupadi, Sutrams 22 and 23. Before that, we will have a quick look at 19 20 and 21. I'll read the translations. So this is the glories of the Tirumantram, which is being described in these set of sutrams. So Tirumantram gives Aishwarya, Kaivalya and Bhagavat Prapti as per the desires of the seekers. That was Sutram 19. And for Sutram 20, the mercy of Tirumantram on those who take the path of karma, jnana and bhakti. How Tirumantram removes the obstacles which is blocking those seekers. That was described in Sutram number 20. And in 21, we saw specific to those who are in the path of Prapatti. Prapattiile எழுந்தவர்களுக்கு ஸ்வரூப ஞானத்தை பிராபித்து காலக்ஷேபத்துக்கும் போகத்துக்கும் ஹேதுவாய் இருக்கும். For those who adopt Prapatti, absolute surrender, this, that is Tirumantram, generates the knowledge about the Atma, Swarupa Jnana, that is Sheshatva, and becomes the reason for proper utilization of time, that is Kalakshepam, and attainment of enjoyment for Emperuman, Bogattukkum. So with this background, we will move to Sutram 22. மற்றெல்லாம் பேசிலும் என்கிறபடியே அறிய வேண்டும் அர்த்தமெல்லாம் இதுக்குள்ளே உண்டு. மற்றெல்லாம் பேசிலும் என்கிறபடியே அறிய வேண்டும் அர்த்தமெல்லாம் இதுக்குள்ளே உண்டு. So the glories of Tirumantram is being brought out from another perspective, and pasuram is being quoted here, the two words. Interestingly, today we discussed about Tirumangai Azwar, and his pasuram is being quoted here. So let's look at the introduction. Jnatavya Sakalartha Pratipada. So, for a Mumukshu, whatever is to be known, as the Mumukshupadi begins by defining Mumukshu, one who is interested in getting liberated, especially the liberation which entails service to the divine couple in Vaikuntha. For such a Mumukshu, what are the principles that he has to know? All of that is present in the and is revealed in by Tirumantra. That's how the avatarika of the introduction begins for this sutram. Let's look at the simple meaning. All the esoteric truths to be known by us, mentioned by Azwar in the pasuram, that is Tirumangai Azwar in his pasuram, Matrellam Pesilum, are rooted in this, which is Tirumantra. So let's delve a little deeper into this Matrellam Pesilum verse. Saradi Swamigal goes into a lot of detail explaining Tirumangai Azwar and how he sang this particular set of verses to Sauri Raja Perumal. And especially the glories of Tirumantram are being brought out in this particular set of verses. Nin Thiru Ettu Eluthum Katru Matrellam Pesilum. So Swami explains that the entire pasuram, in that the mood of Tirumangai Azwar is being brought out, and within that how Azwar takes the essence from the Tirumantram. So Tirumantram conveys a lot of meanings, and within that Azwar is taking the essence. So even while talking of other relevant things, learning the meaning of your Ashtaksha Mantram, so Azwar begins this pasuram by saying that he does not have any connection with those who are thinking that other devatas exist. So the extent to which Azwar is focused only on LakshmiNarayanan and his devotees is being brought out. And then next, we look at the particular line which we are talking about today. Nin thiruyettu eluthum katru matrellam pesilum. So Swami explains that Tirumangai Azwar picks up a lot of meanings from Ashtakshara Mantram, but he says of all of that, the essence that Azwar picks up is that he concludes that he is the servant of the Supreme Lord. Adiyarku Adiyen. So that is the esoteric meaning or the essence which is being conveyed by the Ashtakshara Mantram. This is as per Tirumangai Azwar. So Manavala Mamunigal, after giving the meaning of the entire pasuram, now brings the focus back into what we are supposed to get from this Matrellam Pesilum. So even though the mantra contains special meaning and concepts, we are specifically looking at those concepts which are meant to elevate the soul. Now, this Tirumantram contains all that which is needed for a mumukshu to elevate himself. So that is what we are meant to focus. Matrellam Pesilum. This Tirumantram contains the essence which is needed for elevating a soul. So Swami explains how Pillai has picked up this Matrellam Pesilum, but Manavala Mamunigal has gone and given us the entire pasuram and the meaning of it, and within that, what we are supposed to focus on. So this is what a commentator is meant to explain further whatever is mentioned in short form. So thus, Swami brings out the glories of Tirumangai Azwar and Manavala Mamunigal also. The next Sutram, Sutram 23, Adavadu Anjartham. So this Sutram may look like a reply to a question. So let's look at what the question is. Pillai Lokacharya asks this question: what are the meanings on the concepts that are to be known by the mumukshu? And the answer is given in this Sutram. Let's look at the simple meaning. What is the mumukshu meant to know? That is Artha Panchakam, the 5 essential meanings. Sorry. So the mumukshu is meant to know the 5 essential meanings. With that introduction and the simple meaning, let's zoom into the Artha Panchakam. So a mumukshu is meant to know these 5 meanings. The first is nature of the soul, Swaswarupam, nature of Bhagavan, Ishvara, Paraswarupam, nature of the goal which the mumukshu is supposed to attain, Purushartha Swarupam. Now that the goal is clear, how do you attain it? What is the means to attain the goal? Upaya Swarupam. And if there is a goal to be attained, there will always be obstacles, as we saw earlier. Virodhi, which for Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, and Bhakti Yogi, for those who are following the Prapatti, also Virodhis are there. So the nature of the obstacles in such attainment, that is Virodhi Swarupam. So Swaswarupam, Paraswarupam, Purushartha Swarupam, Upaya Swarupam, and Virodhi Swarupam. This is the Artha Panchakam. And now to establish the point about how Vedas and Vedantam and the Itihasa and Puranas, all of this, they all contain Artha Panchakam. To establish this point, an example is given. A pramanam is given from Harita Smriti. So, along with the pramanam, again is also given the meaning for each of the word from the pramanam based on Saradi Swamy's explanation. Prapyasya Brahmano Rupam. So, Bhagavan is the ultimate goal. Praptuscha Pratyagatmanaha. Atma is a person who is aiming for that goal. Prapti Upayam means to attain the goal. Phalam Praptes. After attaining the goal, which is Bhagavan, what are we going to do with that? That is the Phalam. Tata Prapti Virodhischa. Hurdles which are stopping us from attaining that goal. Vadanti Sakala Vedas Itihasa Puranakaha. All of the 5 principles, they are to be known by everyone. And this is the essence of all Shastras. So, Veda, Itihasa, Purana, Vedanta, all of that, they convey these 5 principles. It is not only the Veda, Vedanta, Itihasa, Puranas, but it is also being acknowledged by the sages, the seers of the truth. So that's the last line. Munayascha Mahatmano Veda Vedartha Vedinaha. That is what the well-realized seers of the truth, the sages and the great souls, they are all highlighting this only. So now we are going to connect this particular point that we discussed with Tirumantram about how this Pramanam establishes that Vedam and Vedantam are giving Artha Panchakam. Earlier, we saw that whatever is given in the Vedas is given in Tirumantram as well. Since Vedam and Vedantam, they are giving Artha Panchakam, so therefore Tirumantram should also give Artha Panchakam. So that's like a logical conclusion. Therefore, the Artha Panchakam, which is given in Vedas and Vedantam, is also given in Tirumantram. This is how logically the conclusion is being made. After having arrived and established clearly how Tirumantram has Artha Panchakam within it, next section we will look at how Tirumantram has this Artha Panchakam by breaking it down. So the Pranavam has the nature of the soul. The Namaha part gives information about the Virodhi Swarupam and the Upaya Swarupam. Narayana word, of course, describes about the Lord, the nature of the Lord. That is, we are getting information about the Paraswarupam. Then the 4th case, Aya, is describing the goal. So this is how we have established Tirumantram is containing Artha Panchakam and is giving us the essence which a mumukshu has to know to elevate himself to attain the ultimate goal. This is my audience humble attempt. If there are any mistakes, please let me know. Alvar Embermana, G. Trivadigalai Sharanam. Lelokacharya Trivadigalai Sharanam. Manavala Mamanigal Trivadigalai Sharanam.
Thank you, Anantha Swami. Any particular questions or comments on this? All right. I think Varadarajan Swami, we have the need to discuss about next week's topics and presenters.
Yes, Swami. If you can see that kit, you will be able to know what the next one is. For Divya Prabhandam, it is, I think, Kanninun Chiruttambu. And
we are
for,
looking at this Nityanusandhanam, right?
Senni Yongu, is it?
Yes, Swami.
Senni Yongu.
Kapidal.
Puchuttal is done.
Capital, then.
Kapidal and Senni
Capital and Senni Yongu. And in Azwar Acharya Vaibhavam, Azwargal, I think we have completed. Then we have to move to Oranvadi Acharya. First Acharya is Periya Perumal and Periya Pirati.
Right.
I can take up Acharya, Periya Perumal and Periya Pirati.
So is it one or both, Swami? Periya Perumal?
Both will be first Acharya.
No. Both will be there. See, one day, the Saturday will be Periya Perumal, Sunday will be Periya Pirati.
Adiyan will go through Capital.
Shall we maybe send out a message in the group since a lot of members aren't there?
Yeah.
Periya Perumal is taken by Sri Rangarajan Swami.
Amarnath Swami wanted something. I think the Swami has not presented so far. So we can give him an opportunity.
Capital.
He said he'll take capitals.
Capital. Okay.
Yeah.
Then for rest of the thing, then we can send a message for me. Then we'll see who's what.
Sure.
I mean, next Saturday we have this Upakarma, right? So the session will still be there, right?
Yes, likely most of us finish it in the morning itself. I think it should not be a disturbance.
Okay.
That right, Varadarajan Swami, do we have any hindrances on Saturday?
No. We can continue. It's only at 3 o'clock. No?
So
As
late 3
rightly said, as very rightly said, in the morning, we will complete whatever we are required to do. Karmanushthanam.
Okay.
Srimati Ramanujan, we can end the session.